All right, everyone, today we're going to be using something just a little bit different. We're going to be using the new Jax Pellets from Jealous Devil. Now, as most of you know, we carry cooking pellets in our store, and Cooking Pellets has been a long-time sponsor of the channel, and they still are. But we recently took on Jealous Devil for our charcoal line, and they were kind enough to sponsor us for our charcoal grills, and they sent us out a brand new box of the Jax Pellets before they ever even hit the shelves, so that as legend makers could try them out and give them some feedback. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Now, the Jax Pellets are a blended pellet, kind of like the Perfect Mix from Cooking Pellets. This does have cherry, maple, and hickory in it, so it's got a nice blend for anything in the medium range for smoking. It's not going to be too light, but it's not going to be too heavy. So it's right in that middle. It's going to be perfect. So let's go ahead and open these up, fill up our hopper on our Green Mountain, and get to smoking. Nice thing is about these Jax Pellets, they have a nice flap on the box. They come really nicely packaged. So you just open up the flap, open up our grill, and dump them in. All right. Now that we have our grill loaded with our new pellets, let's get it turned on here and get it warmed up to temp. All right, guys, we just want to take a few minutes here to kind of talk about what we found out with these Jax Pellets. So we've tried these pellets out in our Green Mountain Daniel Boone Prime, and we've also tried some of them out in our Rectech Bull 700. Both grills gave us a nice, clean, consistent burn. The burn times were right on point with a lot of the major pellet manufacturers out nowadays, which tells me that they're not using cheap filler woods like they claim they aren't. Some of you know, and some of you may not yet know, if you start using cheaper brands of pellets with a lot of filler woods, you'll notice your pellet consumption raises a little bit because the BTU content of some of those filler woods isn't as high. It tends to burn up that wood a little bit faster. So this tells me that they're true to their statement, 100% hardwood pellets. The construction of them is very nice. They're not too big. I've had that with some other pellet brands, you know, none that we use currently, but we've had some that were rather large and almost worrisome that I've taken and broken them down and actually started sifting through the pellets to try to find the big ones. And I don't feel that I should have to do that every time I fill my grill up. I should be able to pour the pellets in and walk away. With Jax, all of them were a very consistent size. None of them were very big. So that means that they're going to work in a lot more grills because you're not going to have issues with auger jams and issues with them trying to feed, anything like that. So that's really nice to see. The packaging is wonderful. Nice box, easy to pour. You can reclose it. Obviously, you know, we've reclosed this one up here. There's still a little bit left in here, but it's nice to reclose. Nice packaging. I really like that. It's a lot easier for us retailers to be able to put these on shelves, stack them up on the showroom floor, make a nice display out of them. Bags of pellets kind of a little tricky to stack up other than just basically piling the bags on top of each other. With these, you can stack them up, make a nice display. So that helps the retailers as well as the end user. Again, you know, we have cherry, maple, and hickory in here. We used this on a seafood bake we did. We did some clams and some mussels in a cast iron skillet on the pellet grill. Turned out amazing. And we've done some ribs and a pork loin with this too. And flavors are outstanding. Like I said, nice, clean, consistent smoke, nice, clean, consistent burn. So, before we move on a little bit here, I want to talk about some of their other products that we carry in our store and we use not on a daily basis, but on the weekly basis here at Tasker's Barbecue Supply. And that is the Max Large Briquettes from Jealous Devil and the Chunks Lump Charcoal. Both a very wonderful product. I really like the Max briquettes. They're a huge briquette. I mean, you put them in your hand and they take up the entire palm of your hand. Doing a snake method in our kettle grill when we do pork butts and stuff, I use way less of those than I have to of other competitors because the briquettes are so much bigger. And I feel that they have a very, very consistent burn. Without any adjustments, I can keep steady temperatures for hours on hours doing a snake method in our kettle grill. No real adjustments ever needed. So I feel that they burn very consistently. They put off a very good flavor, and again, they use you know, really no fillers. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of I'm sure cornstarch or something to press that into a briquette, but other than that, there's no other fillers used. When you get into their chunks, 100% lump charcoal. Two things you're going to notice with Jealous Devil chunks: it burns hot and it burns long. And most of that comes from two reasons. One, they're using quebracho wood. It's a dense wood, so that's where you get a lot of that long burn time, and it's what brings a lot of the heat as well. Now, the other thing I have noticed that I like about the Jealous Devil chunks that I do not like about other brands: you do not get chunks of what looks like leftover lumber. You're never going to get that chunk that looked like somebody cut off the end of a 2x4 or a 2x6 and tossed it in there, or it was a rough cut piece of lumber, or you know, anything like that. It looks like straight chunked up logs, and I think that speaks a lot because, you know, I'm not knocking any other brands for using some of those scraps. It's still the same wood, I understand that, and they're trying to cut down their costs, which helps the consumer in the long run, I'm sure. But for me, I like to have a more consistent type of charcoal. I don't want some chunks of solid wood and then some thin pieces. You know, we found that the chunks has very, very consistent. You'll get chunks from about this big down to this big are very common, that's about common with any lump charcoal. You do get a little bit of that gravel down in there of the small little chunks, but not a big deal. That's going to happen with transport of any brand. Same with the briquettes of anything. You're going to have broken pieces, but their sizes are consistent. The burn is consistent, and it burns really hot, which I like. You know, we can do that. Put a whole chimney of chunks in our grill and use that just primarily for searing steaks and everything. Where before, if I was doing the briquettes of other manufacturers, I'd have to do 2 chimneys to get the amount of heat I needed to sear those steaks really hot. Especially when you're doing multiple steaks, you know, and that's where I get from that is you can spread this chunks out after it's hot, and the heat coming off of it is equal to twice the amount of competitors' charcoal. It really works well. Like I say, it burns very clean. So I really like the chunks. It's probably my favorite of all the charcoals that we use here. But like I said, we gave the Jax a try for them. Outstanding pellet. It's probably going to be one of our go-tos in one of our grills now. So we are going to continue to hit the competition, and I'm probably going to try Jax in our next competition doing some chicken. So we'll look forward to sending you guys some pictures when we hit our next competition in Urbana, Virginia. And we'll be doing a double header there. We will be using Jax to compete, and we hope we'll do pretty well there. Well, everyone, I hope I haven't rambled on too long here. I just want to give you my honest opinion on not only the Jax, but their charcoal as well. You know, I kind of stumbled across Jealous Devil as a retailer, and when I had a few other manufacturers that I tried to get with charcoal that just didn't seem to want to help retailers, and we stumbled across Jealous Devil. They are very, very nice people to talk to. You can talk directly to them as a retailer. You're not trying to mess with distributors or anything like that. Super nice people to talk to, super helpful. And they said, hey, we would like you to try out our Jax. I said, I'll be more than happy to. You know, that's what we started this business with, was pellet grills. And I'm very, very happy with them. So I hope that you guys will give them a try. You may even be seeing them in our store here very soon. So if that's something you want to see, let us know. I appreciate all of you guys for watching. We'll see you back on the next one.